I'm Bobby Dean, and you're watching Dante's
Boxing Nation.
Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So it is now official that Sebastian Fundora is a joke of a champion. It has just been reported that he will not participate in the purse bid to fight his mandatory, Xander Zayas, and instead he's going to vacate his WBO belt and fight Tim Tszyu in a rematch instead. Now there is clearly a pattern when it comes to Fundora. If you guys remember, way before Terrence Crawford fought Madrimov, originally, Terrence Crawford, he was going to fight against Tim Tszyu. That was before Tim Tszyu lost to Fundora, because at the time, Tim Tszyu, he was the man to beat at 154, since Jermell Charlo was on his hiatus, and still is. So since Terrence Crawford is the opposite of a Fundora, and he's always trying to fight the best, once Fundora beat Tim Tszyu, Terrence Crawford and his people, they offer Fundora the biggest payday of Fundora's career, an even bigger payday than what he's going to get paid in a rematch with Tim Tszyu, by the way. Fundora, he turned it down because he was trying to fight the man that Terrence Crawford had just knocked out, Errol Spence. Now, the WBO, they actually refused to sanction a bout and rank Errol Spence at 154 because of his inactivity, his one-sided knockout loss to Errol Spence, and the fact that he had never fought at 154. Which is so ironic because, by way of contrast, the WBA, they just ranked Ryan Garcia number 3 in the welterweight division, despite the fact that he's been inactive for 1 year, never fought at 147, and is coming off of a suspension. The WBA is treating him like he's a champion that just came off of a win, or the biggest win of his career. It just goes to show you how backwards and corrupt the sport of boxing is. But getting back to Fundora, it didn't look that bad for him. I mean, it looked bad, but it didn't look that bad when he was ducking Terrence Crawford, because he's ducking the Michael Jordan of the sport, right? But now we find out he's vacating his belt to avoid his number one contender, Xander Zayas. Not only were a lot of fans looking forward to that fight, and it was a big fight, but it's the Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry. And you're telling me Team Mexico is going to vacate the belt? I mean, what is going on with Fundora? Mexicans are always talking about pride, being tough, and showing heart. The way you Mexican fans be talking in the comment section, y'all should be ready to turn y'all back on him, because this is a really bad look. This is a really bad look, because you race fans know deep down in your heart, if it was any of those black fighters that you guys cannot stand that was in Fundora's position right now, and they had Xander Zayas as their number one contender, they would have all fought him. A Javante, a Keyshawn, a Devin Haney, a Shakur Stevenson, they would never vacate their belt to avoid their undefeated mandatory, especially if it's a name like Xander Zayas. Shit, if anything, they would be chasing a mandatory like Shakur has been chasing William Zepeda. Which further proves everything I keep telling you guys. There are low standards and high standards in the sport of boxing, and Fundora is set at the lowest standard. I mean, I really gave Fundora more credit than he deserved, and I think a lot of people did, because when the news came out that Xander Zayas was his mandatory, and Xander Zayas got in the ring and he took a picture with Fundora, I thought for sure Fundora was going to take the fight and defend his title, because that's what champions are supposed to do, right? But instead of fighting the undefeated young, hungry lion, his number one contender, a fighter that doesn't even know how to lose yet, Fundora, he chooses to wave the white flag, surrender his belt, and fight a guy who just recently came off of a knockout loss. And speaking of Tim Tszyu, he was talking like he was going to fight Keith Thurman next, which after Keith Thurman's last performance, that would have been the perfect fight to make. A Fundora versus Tszyu rematch, it does not make any sense right now, at least not for the fans. But obviously, it makes a lot of sense for Fundora and Tim Tszyu. I mean, you can't blame Tim Tszyu that much, because he is getting an opportunity to avenge one of his defeats, and he's fighting for a title. But when it comes to Fundora, there's no way he can justify his actions. Now, if Fundora can get past Tszyu in a rematch, he is going to hold that WBC belt hostage, and Mexico's WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, is going to allow him to do it. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.